I'm here with Simon Phipps. Simon, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
So now, you have been gone from Sun Microsystems for how long?
I left on March the 8th this year.
And what are you up to now?
Now I'm working with a startup company called ForgeRock. ForgeRock was set up in February this year. And what we do is we offer access management and authentication services for enterprise integration. So what that means, to make it clearer, is imagine that you're going to go to some kind of an online store, and that online store maybe sells music, sells books, sells clothes. Each of those online stores is actually a separate website. It's not all one big website, almost certainly. And it makes no sense for each of those online stores to have a login process for customers. So instead of doing that, the online store provider will have another module over there somewhere that you go log into with OpenID or with OAuth or whatever it is that you want to use. And then from then onwards, that authentication program will provide authentication behind the scenes to the other programs, so that they know that the user that they're dealing with is correctly logged in and has the credentials to do with the program. So that authentication and access management is the software that we produce. What's interesting about all that is that the software we're using was actually all written by Sun Microsystems. It was previously known as OpenSSO. We now call that OpenAM for Open Access Management, partly for trademark reasons and partly because that's a better description of what the software does. Then we also have OpenESB, which is developed in the community and provides an enterprise service bus over which authentication and access management requests can travel. We have OpenDS, which is an LDAP directory service where people's identities can be stored for reference by the access management program. And we're just about to release OpenIDM, which is an identity management suite that lets you manage the identities in the directory for use by the access manager. And we have all of those integrated together in something that we call the i3 platform.
Oh, very cool. So now how do you actually get a hold of the software? As you say, it came from Sun Microsystems.
Right. So for you as a developer, the way to get a hold of it is to come visit our website, ForgeRock.com, go to the downloads area and download it. The software itself is developed in community, and it's all open source software. So that means that it's licensed under a license that lets anyone pick the software up, study it, modify it, and distribute the modified version. So what's rather unique about ForgeRock is that we don't have the copyright ownership of any of the software that we're working on. It's all pure open source software that we then manage just like any other ISV would, fixing bugs for customers, providing new versions and updates so it carries on working in the containers it runs in, and doing the R&D to produce future versions. But we do all of that in the open source community, collaborating with other developers like ourselves who have an interest in the software.
And so do you monetize it by services or by subscription model, or how do you do that?
We sell subscriptions, and those subscriptions offer a service level agreement for the response time in responding to questions. And we have a model that offers different levels of subscription depending on the point in the life cycle where you are as a deployer of the software. So if you're doing some kind of a proof of concept, we have a low-cost subscription you can take out to get developer support while you're doing the deployment. If you're staging a future deployment, we have another level of subscription, and if you're in production, then we have another level of subscription, or actually a suite of levels of subscription that depend on how complex and how high load your application is, because that's pretty much what will determine how much demand for support you place on us. And all of those are annual subscriptions that you can purchase from us. You can move between the different levels. We don't do any implementation or consulting. We leave that all to our network of partners around the world. And we have a network of something like 70 partners in most countries around the world who can provide consulting, who can provide integration support, who can implement the software in your environment for you.
And so can you talk about any of your customers right now, or people who are interested in this?
So we've announced 3 of the customers that we have at the moment. We're 4 months old. We started in February. We've already got something like 20 customers around the world. 3 of them, one of them is SwissSign, which is the digital signature subsidiary of the Swiss Postal Service. Another one is the Norwegian Railway Service, and a third one is Betfair, who are the world's largest gambling exchange. who are using. They're all using OpenAM for authentication and access management.
Very cool. And you're based, are you a virtual company, or are you based in London? Or
So we're a virtual company. We're incorporated in the UK, in the US, and Norway, and we have subsidiaries additionally in Sweden, Brazil, and France, where we have teams that are helping customers match the subscription that they need. And then we have partners in most countries where there are software deployments. And most of us are based from home. We have a couple of office facilities that people drop into. We have an office facility in Oslo that people go to, and I have an office facility in my back garden in the UK.
very nice. Well, Simon Phipps, thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed, Barton. It's great to see you.